If you don't like royal drama but still love a bit of family intrigue, you're in the right place. Today we're taking a deep dive into one of the most talked about royal visits in recent memory. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's understated yet headline-making stay during the Queen's Platinum Jubilee in 2022. While the world's eyes were glued to the grand celebrations, the real story was unfolding quietly, away from the main stage, in the leafy seclusion of Frogmore Cottage. So, where did Harry and Meghan hide out during the Jubilee? The answer: Frogmore Cottage. Nestled in the grounds of Windsor, this historic home has become almost as famous as its royal residence. But what really happened behind those gates? Let's rewind and set the scene. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's return to the UK for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee in 2022 was anything but ordinary. After stepping back from royal duties and moving to California, their relationship with the royal family had become, well, complicated. The world watched as the couple made their way back to British soil, sparking endless speculation about how they'd be received. Their relationship with the royal family was, let's say, a touch frosty, so the palace tucked them away at Frogmore Cottage. Security was tight, privacy was paramount, and the couple's every move was carefully managed. For Harry and Meghan, Frogmore offered a sanctuary from the relentless gaze of the press, and perhaps a buffer from the family tension simmering just out of sight. Not quite Buckingham Palace glamour, but it gave them privacy from the paparazzi and perhaps a bit of distance from family tension. While the rest of the royals were front and centre at the palace, Harry and Meghan's low-key presence at Frogmore spoke volumes about their current standing within the family. While working royals waved from the palace balcony, Harry and Meghan kept it low-key, dodging the spotlight and the drama. They attended only a handful of official events, choosing to spend most of their time behind the scenes. For many, their absence from the balcony was a clear sign of the shifting dynamics within the royal household. Still, their presence was a big deal. It even marked the Queen's first meeting with their daughter, Lilibet. This private family moment was historic in its own right, symbolising both a new chapter and the enduring complexities of royal relationships. In the world of royals, sometimes the most interesting stories happen behind closed doors. And during the Jubilee, Frogmore Cottage was the setting for a royal story that was as much about family as it was about tradition. Let's take a closer look at Frogmore Cottage itself. Originally built in the 18th century, this charming residence has long been a retreat for members of the royal family seeking peace and privacy. For Harry and Meghan, it became a symbol of both their connection to the monarchy and their desire for independence. Before their move to California, the couple invested significant time and resources into renovating Frogmore. The renovations sparked headlines and controversy, but ultimately transformed the cottage into a modern, comfortable home, one that could offer a sense of normalcy amid the chaos of royal life. Imagine quiet mornings spent in the garden, away from the cameras. For Harry and Meghan, Frogmore was a place where they could be a family, even if just for a little while. During the Jubilee, this privacy was more important than ever. The world's media was desperate for a glimpse of the couple, but security at Frogmore was airtight. The cottage's secluded location and high walls kept prying eyes at bay, allowing Harry and Meghan to move about freely, at least within the confines of their temporary home. Of course, they did make a few public appearances. Their arrival at St. Paul's Cathedral for the Jubilee Thanksgiving service, was met with cheers, curiosity, and a flurry of camera flashes. But even then, their demeanour was reserved, their interactions with other royals carefully choreographed. Observers noted the subtle glances, the polite smiles, and the careful distance maintained between Harry, Meghan, and the rest of the royal family. It was a masterclass in royal etiquette and in navigating complicated family dynamics under the world's microscope. Back at Frogmore, the couple could finally relax. Away from the public eye, they spent time with their children, Archie and Lilibet, and enjoyed the simple pleasures of family life. For a few days at least, Frogmore was their sanctuary. It's worth remembering that Windsor has always been a place of family gatherings, celebrations, and private moments. For Harry and Meghan, returning to Frogmore was both a homecoming and a reminder of all that had changed. Inside the cottage, life was quieter. Meghan was seen reading to Archie, while Harry enjoyed strolls in the garden. These moments, though unseen by the public, were perhaps the most meaningful of their visit. One of the most anticipated moments of the Jubilee was the Queen's private visit to Frogmore. For the first time, she met her great-granddaughter Lilibet, a meeting that was both historic and deeply personal. The Queen's meeting with Lilibet was a poignant reminder of the ties that bind the royal family, even in times of tension. For Harry and Meghan, it was a chance to share a special moment with the matriarch of the family. As the Jubilee celebrations continued elsewhere, Frogmore remained a world apart. Behind those closed doors, the Sussexes found a measure of peace, even as the world speculated about their every move. Of course, the media frenzy was impossible to escape entirely. Headlines speculated about everything from seating arrangements to supposed snubs. But inside Frogmore, the focus was on family, not drama. In quieter moments, Harry and Meghan kept in touch with friends back in California, sharing updates and laughter. For them, Frogmore was a temporary home, a place to reconnect with their roots while looking forward to the future. The grounds of Windsor offered space to breathe, to reflect, and to enjoy the beauty of the English countryside. For a family used to the California sun, the lush greenery of Windsor was a welcome change of pace. These simple moments, walking through the gardens, playing with their children, were a world away from the formalities of royal life. For Harry and Meghan, they were a reminder of what mattered most. Mornings at Frogmore were spent together as a family. Breakfasts were informal, conversations easy. For a few days, the pressures of royal protocol faded into the background. There was time for reflection, too. Harry revisited old family photos, while Meghan took a moment to journal by the window. These quiet rituals helped ground them amid the whirlwind of the Jubilee. The garden at Frogmore was in full bloom, a symbol of renewal and hope. For the Sussexes, it was a place to recharge, to find inspiration, and to dream about the future. When it was time to step out for official events, Harry and Meghan supported each other, helping with outfits and offering words of encouragement. Their partnership was evident in these small, everyday moments. The public's reaction to their appearances was mixed. Some cheered, others speculated. But for Harry and Meghan, the focus remained on family and on honouring the Queen's milestone. Meanwhile, the rest of the royal family carried on with the grand traditions of the Jubilee. The Queen's appearance on the balcony was a highlight, a moment of unity and celebration. Back at Frogmore, Harry and Meghan watched the Jubilee fireworks from their window, sharing a quiet celebration of their own. For them, the Jubilee was as much about family, a reminder of both the challenges and the comforts of royal life. As they left, Frogmore returned to its quiet state, waiting for the next chapter in its long royal history. For Harry and Meghan, the memories made there would travel with them, wherever they went. The Queen's Platinum Jubilee was a celebration of tradition, continuity, and family. For Harry and Meghan, it was also a time of transition, a chance to reconnect, to reflect, and to look ahead. As they boarded their flight back to California, the world continued to watch, speculate, and wonder what the future would hold for the Sussexes and the royal family. And so, the story of Harry and Meghan's low-key Jubilee stay at Frogmore Cottage comes to a close. In the world of royals, the most interesting stories often happen away from the cameras, behind closed doors, and in the quiet moments that define a family. Thanks for joining us on this inside look at Harry and Meghan's Jubilee journey. Sometimes the real royal intrigue isn't about drama. It's about the search for home, for peace, and for a place to belong.